Welcome to the Childcare Directors Chair, the podcast for bold educators who are ready to lead, grow, and shake things up in early childhood education. Whether you are a teacher eyeing that lead role, a lead stepping into leadership, or a center owner dreaming big, this is your space to grow with purpose and leave your mark. Hosted by heart-centered leadership coach Erica Sacoccio, each episode brings you real talk, actionable tools, and a contagious laugh or two, all designed to help you step into your next level with confidence. So pour your coffee, pop in those earbuds, and take your seat, because your leadership journey starts right now in the Childcare Directors Chair.
Hey guys, it's your girl Erica here, and so many great things are happening at the podcast studio, and honestly, even for me in my life personally, and I have to just tell you how grateful and humbled I am at all of the things that have been coming our way, thanks to so many of you. If it is morning for you where you're listening, I'd like to say good morning and shout out to my girl Becca, who listens to us every morning, and I know there's so many beyond Becca who tune in day after day, so thank you so much. Today's episode is called You Made It, Now What? 5 Reasons to Reinvest in Yourself as a Leader. And I want to ask you something, guys. If your center stayed exactly the way that it is today, nothing changes, your current systems, your current leadership capacity, and your current stress level, where would you be 3 years from now? Would you still be energized or barely holding it together? You see, you repaint the walls and you replace the furniture, you rotate those books and you upgrade the playground. But what about you? So welcome back to the Childcare Directors Chair Podcast. Today we're going to talk about something that doesn't get budgeted for nearly enough, and that is your growth. And maybe it's because you made it and you're wondering, now what? Now, before we go any deeper into today's episode, I do want to say thank you to Paul and his team at Ratio Staffing. If you are tired of that 6 a.m. phone lighting up with callouts, if you're constantly rearranging classrooms to stay in ratio, or if your mornings feel like survival instead of leadership, Ratio Staffing helps you ditch that morning stress and get the right math for your center consistently. Because staffing challenges, when they are handled correctly, you're able to take a breath and able to lead instead of react. So thank you to Paul and the Ratio Staffing team for supporting leaders in early childhood education. Now, let's get back to you. All right, tip number 1, because you are the culture. Your center doesn't rise above your leadership. It reflects it. If you're anxious, the building feels anxious. If you're reactive, the team becomes reactive too. If you're clear and steady, that steadiness spreads. I once worked with a director who didn't realize how much her stress showed up in staff meetings. She wasn't yelling and she wasn't being unkind, but she was tense, always bracing for that next problem. Eventually, her staff started operating the same way. They were guarded, they were defensive, and they were very quick to escalate small issues. When she invested in leadership development and emotional intelligence work, everything shifted. Definitely not overnight, but noticeably. She became calmer in conflict, more intentional in communication, and more strategic in her responses. And within months, turnover slowed down. Nothing structural changed, but the leader did. So repainting walls refreshes appearances, but investing in yourself refreshes your culture. Second reason is because you got here, and what got you here won't get you there. So opening a center requires grit. Sustaining a center requires strategy. In early days, hustle works. You do everything, you fix everything, you carry everything. But long-term success demands new identity. You need a CEO. You need to be a visionary. You need to be a systems builder. There's a quote often attributed to Albert Einstein. And he says, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. If you're still leading today, the exact same way that you did 1 year ago, growth will eventually stall. Reinvesting in yourself might mean learning how to build systems that reduce daily fires. It might be forecast revenue instead of guessing it. It might be delegating with clarity or developing leaders under you. Your next level requires new tools. Number 3, because burnout is expensive. Director burnout doesn't announce itself loudly. It shows up pretty quietly, honestly. You start postponing those hard conversations. You avoid innovation because guess what? You're tired. You feel resentful, but you don't know why. Here's the truth. When a director is depleted, the center becomes fragile. I once spoke with a director who hadn't taken more than 2 days off in 7 years. She thought that was leadership, but what it eventually created was dependency. Everything required her approval. Everything bottlenecked at her desk. And she wasn't strong, honey. She was exhausted. After investing in mentorship and restructuring her leadership systems, she finally stepped away for a full week. And guess what? The center didn't collapse. It operated. Burnout prevention is leadership protection. Number 4, because your team can only rise to the leadership that they see. If you expect growth from your teachers, they must see it in you. If you expect professionalism, they must see professionalism modeled. I watched a director attend a state conference and come back so energized. Instead of keeping all the ideas to herself, she hosted a team lunch to share what she learned. She implemented one new staff development strategy immediately. And within 6 months, more teachers were requesting training opportunities. The building felt alive, and growth, well, that is contagious. When you invest in yourself, you raise the ceiling for everyone else. And number 5, because the future of early childhood education is changing. The childcare leadership and landscape is shifting. Higher expectations, tighter margins, staffing shortages, increased oversight. Centers that will thrive 5 years from now will not be just warm and loving. They will be strategically led. The difference between surviving and scaling will not be those with the cutest classrooms. It will be those who have the strongest leadership foundation. Your passion opened the doors, but your preparation will keep them open. And that moment that changes things, let me be direct. If you keep telling yourself, I'll invest in myself later, there's no time or the budget's tight, you will still be seeing and saying those things for 3 years from now. You can decide that this is your season to grow, and you don't have to do it alone. So I'd love to invite you to come join us in Rhode Island. If something in this episode made you uncomfortable, well, good. That discomfort is growth calling you. We are bringing early childhood leaders together in Rhode Island, not for fluff, not for surface level inspiration, but for real strategy, real connection, and real leadership development. Imagine being in a room with other owners and directors who understand the weight that you carry. No explaining, no minimizing, no pretending, just honest conversations, strategic thinking, and forward momentum. If you keep listening to podcasts, or you can get into the room and come join us. Because your next level won't happen by accident, and neither will the future of your center. So you made it. Now it's time to grow. We'll see you in Rhode Island at the Early Education Empowerment Conference, May 7th, 8th, and 9th. Link is below. Check out the lineup. It is amazing. Until tomorrow, see you then.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Childcare Directors Chair, where we believe leaders aren't born, they're grown. If something sparked for you today, share it, shout it out, or pass it along to the next bold changemaker in childcare. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with Erica Sacosio for more real talk leadership tools and a whole lot of inspiration. Until next time, lead with heart, grow with fire, and always remember, the chair is yours. Now own it.